So this is gonna be a little bit of a different type of stream, I think. So the focus of this channel is actually to talk about game programming, but with a lens on gaming. So I'm gonna play some games on my channel, probably most likely RPGs, just because those are my favorite kind of game. But we'll explore other games as we go along. So basically the goal here is that I want to be able to play video games and kind of help gamers understand game programming a bit more, but also as a way for me to learn as well. Because sadly, I'm not an industry professional, but I am a professional software engineer, and I have like over 10 years experience of that, and I've been doing game programming as a hobby for a long time. So I do, generally speaking, have a grasp on how game logic works, but there will be times where I'll have to take some of this back and some of it to be best guess. So we'll do what we can. I'm also open to feedback. If you can't hear anything, let me know. If you're having trouble with like some things, or if you ask questions, feel free. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, we're playing Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. This is the Switch remake. And I guess it's more like a remaster? Okay, thank you. Let me update the game audio. How's that? Is that any better? See if that's any better. The microphone might be picking it up too. That might be a challenge. I could boost the microphone, but here, I'll lower the volume here too. Yeah, is that any better? I could adjust the game volume and stuff as needed as we go. Thank you. Yeah, alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Also, for what it's worth, I have a TV above me, so you might see me look up at the screen. But I'm also probably re-looking down here too. Is that any better now? Can you hear me now? Alright, yeah, of course we'll have problems. Let's see. Okay, cool. Is the game audio too loud, you think? Could I lower that? Something? I have a problem with my microphone cable. Like, the cable just gets loose sometimes. Like, it's kind of annoying. Oh, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to leave everything as is. Hopefully this will stay like this for a while. And it will work. Just gotta go through in the opening cutscenes. It's a bit longer than I remember. It's also been like, I don't even remember how long it's been since I played the original Thousand Year Door. I believe I've replayed it since I played it as a kid, but I don't remember. It could be, honestly, that long. Could have been really like 20 years since I played this game. Alright, so I really should have combed my hair before coming on the stream. Alright. Yeah, so for me, playing this game is going to be a bit of a learning curve again, just because it's been so long. But it's Paper Mario, it's not particularly hard to learn. But that's kind of the beauty of this game, though. It's just like, its simplistic design is really what makes this game so good. Do you know much about what they changed with the original? Honestly, I played it very little. I just played I played around with it a little bit. It's largely the graphics, and I think some of the user interfaces as well changed. I don't know if the gameplay really did all that much, to be honest. Excuse me. Yeah, it's a... Yeah, but it's largely the graphics. If you kind of look at how Mario looks, they kind of gave a bit of a white outline like kind of the new ones, but it's much more subtle. He looks kind of more like cardboard than he looks like paper. One thing that is kind of annoying to me, though, that this probably is present in the original as well, but there's no way to speed up the dialogue. Like, I press the B button and stuff like that. It doesn't do anything. There's no option for it. So you just kind of have to go through it. It is a bit unfortunate. I do wish Nintendo would take that kind of stuff a bit more seriously, though. Like, personally, I'm going to go through the whole story again because it's been 20 years. But, like, for people who play this game a lot, it's really annoying to not be able to skip the dialogue. Alright, so... we're just going to go ahead and get our first battle here. Kind of talk about how the battle system works in this game, and maybe we can bring up some questions we can kind of analyze. I do like the fact that I can just hammer these people. One thing I did notice very briefly playing this is they try to change the voices of the dialogue. Like, I mean, it's not voice acted, but you know, like the little gibberish voices that they have. They're different. Like, the toads sound more like toads. Try to remember this guy's name. It's Lord Crump. Okay. Yeah, so this is a tutorial fight. So it's pretty straightforward. Alright. So this is where I'm going to kind of take a minute and kind of talk about game programming related stuff. So naturally, when we play this game, we're going to run into some things where we'll be like, okay, well, how would this kind of thing be made? So if we look at the combat system here, this is turn-based, obviously. But when you make a turn-based system, you're going to also have to kind of define basically turns, and then the actions that every entity can do in that turn. So a player character is going to have a menu like this. You know, your partner also has that. But the enemies will have a selection of options that will be presented to them based on the conditions of the fight. I'm not sure if there's really much going on in this fight. I think Lord Crump just attacks you. Nothing special. But basically, if I were to actually shrink this down a little bit too, we can kind of see. Like, there would be some sort of like flow chart, basically. So I think when we get into later fights, we'll dissect it a little bit more, but what the enemy does. Well, let's focus on kind of like how the battle is set up. So there's three main, well, in this fight there's only two, but there's Mario, and then there's Crump. Right, he's actually I'm gonna make my pen a little bit larger here. And then Mario has HP as a property, right? He also has FP as a property. But there's going to be some other things we're going to have to keep track of too. So there's also some battle flow. So actually, if I were to... Give me 1 second, I'm just going to... Messed up here. Add new layer. This will be a little bit easier to see. Now should be easier. Okay, so we gotta have this. We gotta build kind of like a workflow. So all right, just thinking about how I present this real quick. Might be easier if we kind of talk about one thing at a time. So yeah, we'll talk about the battle. So the battle. So what do we know about the battle? Okay, maybe easier just to play through it. So yeah, it's turn-based, and you have a player's turn. So, and then basically what's going to happen is there's got to be logic to show this menu, and then you have to have logic for the computer to listen to your input. So you press buttons on the controller and it does stuff. Let's just press the jump button. And then there's also the aspect of the action commands. So if we look here, it's like we need a couple things to keep track of in the battle. So we're going to have, obviously we're going to have the stats, right? Okay, it's a little bit too, you got your, Mario, right? Partner. Then you got your enemies. Then you got your menus, right? And then you have your action commands. And then there's stuff around it too. But let's go ahead, let's start with that. And I suck. Okay, awesome. Great start. Alright. This is where it'd be easier to actually look at the television because of the frames. And I still suck. Alright, I wonder if the controller has any input delay. Might, actually. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, there might be a slight input delay on this controller. I think there is. Okay. Let's switch to the Joy-Cons. Oh, I had to redo it. Alright. Alright. And I still suck. Okay, never mind. It's not an input issue. Alright. Alright, so what we're gonna have to do, and then there's also the stat stuff. So if we looked at, there's star points that we have to do, and then coins are just an outside thing we'll worry about another time. But there'll also be that meter once we collect the crystal stars that will show up too. So let's just go ahead and play through the game a little bit for now, and then we can talk more about programming stuff in post. One small comment I do want to make, though, is it's interesting kind of how they made the paper cutout version of Mario. Because you look at him, he's not a sprite, but he's kind of more like a 3D model. He's not a 3D model, but he's kind of more like a small plane with a little bit of thickness. It's kind of hard to see here. If only I could like pause it frame perfect. But basically, you can see his arms are separate cutouts, and so are his legs. And there's like some layers here. So what they probably do is they make like his head, his body, his arms, his legs all like separate pieces, and then they put it together through a rig, and then you just kind of animate that. It gets a little more tricky when you flip sides though, because then you have to flip his sprite to show his back sprite. There's that aspect of it too. But I think what they just do there is they just kind of they're basically two separate models, but they just basically in one, like as he's turning, they just swap it real quick, kind of like it's hard to see. They just swap the two. Anyway, let's go further. Yeah, the folding powers. Yeah, it's those might actually even be separate too. I think when you do like the paper plane stuff, I think you could even just like make it a plane, like a literal plane in 3D. You subdivide it a bunch so you could like fold it into a plane, and then you just basically render Mario's sprite on top of it. So in that case, I think in that case, they actually just make him a sprite and render it onto a plate. But we'll look at that when that actually happens, when we get to that point. Yeah, so it's interesting kind of how they approach this remaster. They didn't really go with the exact art style of the newer Paper Mario games. They have like in Origami King, like you can see he's much more of a paper cutout in that one. But like in this game, it's kind of more like a cardboard cutout. But that's more faithful to the original Thousand Year Door, because I also believe they modeled him the same way. That was nice that Toadsworth to foreshadow for us. Basically saying, oh, we gotta prepare for the event in which she never returns. It's like, well, thanks, Toadsworth. Okay. Yes, the other thing I noticed different too about the game is that like, yeah, they're little like gibberish sounds when they do their text boxes are different and they're more unique to the character that they're portraying. Yeah, I think I feel that way too. Yes, I do not want to listen to any more dialogue. There we go. Okay, so apparently she has this function with ZL. Okay, and it just tells you where to go next. That's nice. I honestly kind of don't mind those kind of mechanics in games. And basically for a main reason that, like, people tend to drop games and then come back to them after a period of time. It's very easy to get lost and be like, what was I supposed to do next? So I actually don't mind that that's a thing in this game. Even though this game's short enough that you could play it in one sitting. Well, roughly speaking. Doesn't hurt to have. Okay. So I'm just gonna bonk you. Whoops, I found a star piece. I forgot this was here. And trade those in for rare items later on. Hello. Thank you for joining. Also, bonk. There we go. Yeah, so right now, just kind of playing the game. Play it for a little bit, and then I can explain some more stuff in some time. I think probably better to play the game, get some reps in before we kind of do that. Okay, so this guy's a wanted Goomba. Okay, well, keep it a secret, but you're getting a bonk for that. Okay. Another thing I noticed, I don't know if it's in the original as well, but like when you hit the hammer on the ground, it has a different sound effect than when you hit it on the water. I like that. It's like a nice little attention to detail. Also forgot the fact that there's just a freaking noose in the middle of the city. Just there. Very subtle. I cannot collect the thing. Which is correct, because I could not collect the thing at this point in the game anyway. This guy has a unique voice too. Yes. Yeah, we can certainly talk about that. I should be around. $5 coins. No, that's fine. It's actually a bit easier to tell that Mario's got a little bit of thickness to him. Yeah, when he's in bed. We'll see that. Also, I just loved this as a thing. Just a leaky ceiling. Because this was literally my ceiling like 2 months ago. Can I jump in here? Nice. It's like just big enough so I could fit in there. Alright, and I could go out this way. What does Mario do in B? What does he do in bed? He heals HP, as everyone else does. Yeah, the hammer sound. Yeah, it's probably there in the original too. I just happened to notice it here. Okay, now I want to go back. Let's save it. Oh, there's no menu when you save the game. Unbelievable. That's amazing. I love that. Oh, there's something behind here. Oh yeah, there is something behind here. Oh yeah, and then there's... Okay, and then there's this whole aspect here where there's this lady who has the glasses. But you, every time you try to pass this area, you step on the glasses and she gets mad. I feel like speedrunners have found a way to pass this. They must have, right? Oh, contact lenses. Okay. I kind of remembered. Okay. I cannot move an inch. Can I jump? No! There's gotta be a way to clip. Maybe in the original game. How is a 2D character wear contact lenses? Well, when it's presented to us, they're 2D, but they must be living their lives as 3D real human beings. It's all a matter of perspective. That's alright. If she's gonna block that, I'm gonna ransack her house. I'm just gonna hammer everything. So we're just gonna go ahead and actually progress with the game. And like you said, I gotta save it again because it didn't save. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I spent a little bit of time on that. Hoping it'll kind of come out pretty decent here. Is that a gallows? I don't know. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yep. Yep, it is. Yep. It's there. And don't forget there's this secret area. That guy just took 50 coins from us. You'll bonk me? No, that's my job. Alright. Yeah. It's all good. I'll probably close the stream out in a bit. It's good to kind of get it set up and working, though. I kind of just have to get viewers on this channel. It's gonna take some effort, but I appreciate you guys jumping on. Yeah, I'll probably close it out around 2 o'clock, so just for like another half an hour here. I found another star piece. Yeah. Another thing I noticed too is like the remastered music. I'm not sure how I feel about this track. I feel like the original is just so good. This one's not as good in my opinion. Although I like to see kind of the other remastered tracks because I imagine they're good. And then there's this guy that you could fight. I do want to fight this guy, but I'll die. Actually, I might not die. But I could, gotta fight him though, that's just the way. Okay. Yeah, and they also, they updated the user interfaces, which is nice too. Kind of more stylized. And there you go. They got their... You gotta have your form validation type stuff in the game too. Yeah, I think he is beatable right away. I'm wondering if I could find like a power bounce badge or something first. That might make things a little easier. But I'm not sure if that spike actually hurts you. May as well do this cutscene first. Who? Yeah, okay, there you go, the crystal stars. Gotta collect those. Yes, he has a map. Yeah, even the items in this game kind of have that, like, extra thickness to them. So we gotta go to the sewers. I thought I could get a badge earlier in this game. Alright. Yep. Gotta save it. I am gonna try to fight the dude. Let's do that. But I have to get my action commands to work. I could just do a hammer, it's just so much easier. I also know, yeah, like when you enter a new area, it shows you kind of where you're going. That's new too. Alright, let's fight this guy. Alright. Yeah, I think that, yeah, this guy should be beatable right away. If I remember correctly, he has 20 hit points. Just gonna have to be able to block well, or use a super guard. We'll just use hammer. Actually, the timing feels different on that. I remember it being slower in the older games. Okay, yeah, you get hit by a spike. Okay, yeah. Okay, he's a little bit tougher here because Goombella can't do anything. Except use items. I could probably just put her in the front and let her take the hits, though. Tattle here, get this HP counter. Yeah, he does have 20 HP. Yeah, we'll just let Goombella just sit here and take the damage. And let Mario attack him. Ah, oh, super guard it, nice. Sorry, Goombella can die. I don't care if she dies. And I hit him 3 more times before I inevitably drop the super guard. I might be able to, actually. If his attack pattern stays the same. Yep. So that's cool. And he goes down. There we go. Just gotta get a little strategy in there. Works perfectly. Cool. Success. We did it. Not even close. Yeah, I knew there was a way to, like, basically not cheese your way through a fight, but, like, you could do something like that to get through it. That's not a problem. Alright, I wanted to open the menu. Okay. Goombella. Okay, she comes back with 1 HP. Okay. It's good your partners don't also get experience points, so you don't have to worry about them like staying alive. I can skip that. That's cool. All right. Yeah, and then when I get the paper thing, I can go through this crack. I don't remember exactly where you get that key from, but you can get it. Ah, you get the sailboat. Get that. Saved 5 coins. That's called investing. Yeah, but then I go and spend them immediately to heal at the end. No, we're not practicing we're raw dogging this. I am a master. And by master I mean I'm going to fumble a lot, but I don't care. Oh shit, I selected the wrong option, didn't I? Alright. That's fine. I actually told you it was too late or too early. super guard this? No. I'm sure it's gonna let me do the super guard in the tutorial here. And we'll just do regular guard, it's fine. That's kind of a nice thing too that they've done with this game is that they've made it so that like skilled players can take advantage of the super guard to like beat fights that normally wouldn't be beatable. Like at a certain point in the game. Like it enables people to actually play this game without taking damage. It's pretty cool. Cool. Oh, nice. He's in the party, but he's not really a playable character. He's just there along for a ride. So let's go ahead and I'm not sure if it does actually exist, but like I think there's a way you can glitch the game. So like once Professor Frankly joins your party like this, I think you can glitch it so he can stay with you. I think if you pass certain part of the game, you can do that. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. It was good to get the stream set up, the audio working. Thank you guys for joining. I think I'll just have to keep doing these. Eventually, I'll get an audience. But I have to figure out how I want to work in the angle of like the game programming too. That's going to be interesting to see. But I think I'm just going to have to play the game a bit and then like bring those questions up when we kind of talk about them. But yeah, anyway, thank you all. I'll see you around.